today we're diving headfirst into the potentially controversial topic of hookup culture. So grab your cocktails, turn up the volume, and let's get real about why hooking up might just be screwing up your chance at real love.
I shine so bright, you might go blind, blind, blind. When I walk through they close.
Hi beautiful people, welcome back to today's video. If my hair is blowing with the wind, it's because my fan is on. It is incredibly hot today, so you're just gonna have to deal with it. Today we actually have a new cocktail we are trying, mixed drink. It is these Fresca mixers, and they are so good, guys. I actually have it mixed with a little bit of a Jack Daniel's peach, what is this? Southern peach mixer. We're actually going to pour ourselves a little bit more because we're gonna need it to get in today's topic. And if you clicked on this episode, guys, you know what we're about to talk about. Hookup culture, why I feel like it is destroying relationships, and probably all of my unpopular opinions about the topic. So without further ado, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for engagement. Let me know if you like this new setup. I figured it was nice and cozy in my living room. But yeah, guys, we are going to get right into it. Okay, guys, honestly, the first thing I feel like I need to talk about when I talk about hookup culture starts with social media. Because I genuinely do feel, guys, like social media has started the incredibly saturated lifestyle of hookup culture, okay? And before I begin, this video is not to cause any judgment or to single out a certain group of people, you know, like, if you're an adult, you should be if you're watching this. You have every right to do what you want with your body, you know. This is no hate. I just want to kind of give my opinion, my humble opinion, on why I feel like hookup culture has fucked up the dating world. And like I said, I think it begins with social media, okay? Take Instagram, for example. You can go on Instagram. You can essentially shop for your dream partner, whether it's a girl or a guy. You can go on there, find just the most perfect looking humans you could ever imagine. You follow one of them, all of a sudden you open up your Instagram again, your algorithm is full of half naked girls and half naked guys. And I think it kind of ties into the whole, what would I call it, guys? The whole idea of instant gratification. I think something our society really struggles with is instant gratification and wanting things immediately. And on something like social media, right? You don't even have to try that hard. You can scroll and find billions of thirst traps, right? I'm guilty of it. I'm guilty of posting them. You know what I mean? But I think in a lot of ways it kind of paints this, I don't want to say unrealistic, but it almost an unrealistic idea that you can do the bare minimum, not even, and see a lot of results, if that makes sense, guys. Basically, guys, let's go back in time, right? I'm 21 years old. When I was in like high school, you know, I feel like you had to do a lot more to get to those next steps in a relationship, situationship, talking stage, you know, like where you would talk for a few months and then maybe you'd show a risky picture and then maybe you would hang out a couple of times and then when you started dating, then maybe it would be okay for sex. You know what I mean? I feel like that is the culture I grew up in. Whereas now it's almost like everybody seems, not everybody, but the group of people I'm talking about who keep this hookup culture running, it's like very fast individuals, right? For example, y'all, on Snapchat, right? I get a lot of people on my Snapchat, whatever. The minute I add a new person, it goes from, hey, how was your day, to do you send nudes? Like immediately, and just like random ass people. And like now it's just like an immediate block, because to me, I think that is such immature behavior. Like, I don't know, that just seems like such a high school thing to do, in my opinion. And it's like, I'm 21. I'm not very old, but I also feel like at my grown age, I'm way too old to be participating in lewd acts like that. Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know, guys. I don't know if it's just like the fact that men are an ick to me lately, like just in general, like especially this generation of men, like they lack a lot of maturity, right? And it really shows in the ways they carry conversations. And that's why I feel like it takes so much to genuinely keep my attention these days, because every guy is coming with the same kind of energy. And I'm sure there's a lot of guys who can say the same about women, right? But obviously, my videos are directed towards us girls, so I speak from my perspective. I genuinely feel like guys feel like they can do less than the bare minimum and get all of the physical everything that they want, right? And it's just insane, like the amount of audacity people have. I don't know, it's just such an ick to me. I think it's so unattractive when the first thing men want to do is kind of like see how far you're willing to go. I think that's like an icky, that's just icky, you know what I mean? And I can't even act like it wasn't something that was created by women as well, you know what I mean? Like, you see so many thirst traps on social media, and like, I'm guilty of them, okay? My thirst traps will never end. But there's a difference between like posting a thirst trap and actually like pursuing people like that, you know what I mean? And I feel like, I don't know if it's just like this generation of guys, they're just all kinds of like gross, but they just skip the whole get to know you stage and just want to jump right into sex. And it's just, I feel like there's such a disconnect between the importance of sex and what sex was created and meant to be. And it's made in this way where like people just want instant gratification, so they want to skip the getting to know you part and see how far you're willing to go and how early on. And a lot of guys aren't willing to wait, right? And so that I feel like a lot of girls, instead of sticking to their standards and their boundaries and accepting that a man who is not willing to wait for her is no man at all, feed into it. You know what I mean? Maybe give the guy what he's asking for because they desire that attention, and it creates this terribly unhealthy, toxic cycle of hookup culture. And we get to a point where now most people don't know how to be in a goddamn relationship. You know what I mean? Because they're so used to that instant gratification. They're used to being able to have nudes in 0.5 seconds from any girl that they ask or any guy that they ask. They're used to having unlimited options online. You know what I mean? That when they have a real person in front of them and you don't meet the standards of the false reality that is social media, they don't want to stick around, or they cheat, or they do this or they do that. And you know, I've experienced that firsthand, being in a long-term relationship and this person having sexual everything with multiple girls over social media and a select few in person, you know what I mean? But a majority of the girls are over social media. And like, that's what I mean. Like, I don't understand at what point girls decided it was cool to just give it up. And that's not me body shaming anyone. Like, that's not a judgment, guys. I just, like, where is our self-respect? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm gonna get canceled for posting this. Genuinely feel like I'm gonna get canceled for posting this because I'm gonna have like the overly feminist people telling me my body, my rights, blah blah blah. Like, yeah, I'm not saying you don't have rights, but at the same time, guys, like, when did we get so unhinged that we thought that it was okay to just be fast and sleep around with everyone? And that goes for guys and girls. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because I go on Instagram, right? And I'll scroll at like the late night Instagram feeds, and you're like going through all the comments, and like there's all of these controversial topics, and a lot of it is just like divisions, girls against guys. And A lot of times what I see is when a guy posts something about a girl's body count, the girls are in the comments just like going in, right? When a girl posts something about a guy's sexual behavior, then the guys are in the comments defending their actions, right? When in reality, we need to accept that this is a problem that both genders have unfortunately contribute to it. You know what I mean? Like, hookup culture wouldn't be a thing if the guys didn't have anyone to hook up with, and vice versa. You know what I mean? So like, it's like people, we need to take accountability for the fact that this generation is whack, okay? And a lot of people are fast and they don't want to admit it, and it's just like, I don't know, guys. It just makes me worried that this is the generation of people we have, and they use hookup culture as a means to mask the internal issues that they have, whether it be insecurity, whether it be the inability to emotionally connect with others, whether it be unhealed trauma in their lives, whatever it is. I feel like people use hookup culture as a way to feel less alone in this world. And like, it sounds so fucked up, but like, I don't know, guys. I feel like a lot of people would rather be laying down with a stranger than be comfortable loving themselves. And like, it's just the question I have to ask, right? Because obviously people get to sit here and be like, you know, it's my body, I do whatever I want with it. And like I said, I don't want to sound judgmental, because of course, do whatever the fuck you want with your body. But at the same time, like, at what extent? You know what I mean? And like, that's the thing, because there are studies that show, I'll insert them on the screen here, that casual sex leads to a ton of psychological issues, you know, like feelings of emptiness and like low self-value and depression. Like, it's not just someone sitting on their high horse, right, telling you that you can't do A, B, and C with your body. No, that's not it. It's just the fact that what you are doing is not just ruining dating culture, it's ruining your mental health. You know what I mean? And so it's like, it's hard, because whether you're like religious or not, I feel like that honestly has nothing to do with it. It's just like how you respect yourself as a person, and like that feeling that not everybody deserves you like that. You know what I mean? That's just how I've always looked at it. I feel like everyone doesn't deserve to know my body or see my body like that. But everyone, I guess, has different views, right? And I'm going down the rabbit hole, but anyways. My next issue with hookup culture, right, is the whole, like I said, ruining of relationships and dating, and the reason people cannot be committed, right? Especially men, okay? Because if they have the option to fuck 6 women over just one, the unfortunate, harsh reality is that they're going to choose the 6 women over the one. And it's like, I wonder, how did we get to that point? Like, what happened to loving one person, building a strong, emotional, meaningful connection with one person, sharing your body with that person, and that being special between the two of you? What I think it has evolved into, honestly, guys, has been a result of people being traumatized in relationships, going into relationships with the very best intentions that they had and being fucked over. And like, it's crazy because like, it's so sad to think about, but at the same time, like, I understand committing yourself to a relationship, the person you love fucking you over, and deciding like, well, what do I have to lose? You know, like, I get it. I'm never going to sit here and judge. I think it's genuinely just sad, because I think deep down inside, 80% of us want the same thing. We want one person to love. We want one person to commit to. We want one person to grow with, right? But we've all been traumatized on different levels, right? And we've all been through so much shit that I think a lot of us deep down inside have like given up on love. And it's so sad, because it's creating this, like I said, culture, hookup culture, right? And it's so unhealthy and it's so toxic. And at the end of the day, like, what do you benefit from? What does it give you? It doesn't make your mental well-being feel any better. Maybe in the moment, until you wake up ghosted the next day. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm just way too fucking sensitive to be involved in hookup culture because I get attached to people. It's just who I am. I have an attachment style of love where I don't know. I just love really hard. I take things really personal, and like I am very, what's the word? Possessive as fuck. I can't be sharing anything with anyone. So personally, for me, hookup culture could never work for me because I can't lay down with someone not knowing who else they're laying down with. And like that brings me to my next point, which is like sexual health. Like, guys, maybe I'm just like that nerd who like looks up facts all the time for no apparent reason, but like I swear it was like the other day I was Googling this because, like, for example, on college campuses, STD rates are like 1 in 3, 1 in 4 at most college campuses. So I looked up, how many people like actually use condoms. A shocking 40%. Like, y'all, that, like, no. Like, I swear my trust issues are so incredibly just expired. I don't know if they will ever be reinstated. For me to lay down with someone in general, lay down with someone I'm serious about, I no longer even want to do that. Like, I swear, sometimes the more I learn about the reality of the shit going on in the world, I want nothing to do with it. Like, it makes me want to be single forever in my little box where nobody can hurt me, nobody can touch me emotionally, physically, mentally, anything. I just want to stay in my bubble, wrapped up in warmth and love and happy thoughts, because the contrary is just like, ugh. And, like, I feel like people will probably think I'm insane, but, like, I'm telling you, like, I ask the questions. What is your body count? How long has it been since you have had intercourse with someone? Have you gotten STD checked? Like, I will ask the difficult questions because you best believe I am not going to risk my sexual health over anybody. Anybody. I don't give a fuck who you are. And if you're not doing that, you need to be very careful. Very, very careful. Okay? You need to be fucking careful. Because people out there are disgusting. People are grimy. People are disgusting. People do not care, okay? Guys, girls, they will be ran all the way through and probably cut that number in half. You'll never know. Be protected. Always make sure that who you are with is protected. And, like, I think hookup culture has created this thing where it's just so normal to, like, Netflix and chill and get around and just fuck, and, like, nobody knows how to have a real conversation. And I think that is, like, the most difficult part about hookup culture that really gets to me. The fact that people are unwilling to learn about you, people don't want to know about you. I'm someone who loves to talk about everything, and, like, one of my biggest turnoffs is when somebody can only have a brief conversation before they have to make it sexual. To me, that shows me that your mental capacity is a little too low for me. Your IQ might be a little too low for me, because I need someone who can stimulate my mind. And if you can't talk to me about real shit, everyday shit, why would I ever want to lay down next to you? For what? Literally for what? Because in my mind and my heart, and just for me, guys, this is just my walk in life, I am dating to marry. Whoever I date, I go into it thinking of longevity, thinking that I can see my future in this person. And does it always work out? No, because unfortunately sometimes our judgment is wrong, or sometimes people fuck you over, or sometimes shit just happens and the people you thought were meant to be here forever just aren't. I learned that. I've documented that on this channel, and, like, that's fine, right? But who I am personally, I date to marry. And so I need to date people who are dating to marry, not people who are dating out of boredom, people who are dating because they're uncomfortable being alone, people who are dating just to fill a void. I cannot date broken people anymore. And that's something that I'm learning, and I don't know if that's selfish of me, but like when I talk to people, I really take everything into consideration, okay? If you come from a broken family, do you have trauma? If you have trauma, have you dealt with that trauma? If you haven't dealt with that trauma, are you willing to deal with it? Are you willing to go to therapy? Are you willing to talk about your feelings? Like all of these things that used to not even faze me, I promise when I'm in my next relationship, all of those questions will have been asked because I've learned the hard way, right? And I make these videos specifically for you guys so you don't have to learn the hard way, so that you can listen to my stories and listen to the ways I've done it so wrong, and you can be like, damn, I might be going down this road, but I can change it. Or I heard what she went through and I really don't want to go through that. So like, let me start looking out for the red flags, or let me start valuing myself more, or let me start loving myself more. And that is my whole goal with this channel, guys, that you guys can sit down and you can watch something and you can feel like, you know what? Yeah, I don't have to do it that way. There is another way. There is more life than what I'm living, and there are people I can learn from, and I pray to God that you guys don't go through the same shit I did. And unfortunately, a lot of you guys will, because some stuff is just out of your control. It just happens. It's just how life is. It's just the way life goes, and it's gonna be fucked up. I'm sorry I went on this tangent. It's got nothing to do with hookup culture. Yeah, guys, conversations, people who can't maintain conversations, to me, that is a lack of immaturity.
Editing me here, I meant a lack of maturity. Sorry guys, obviously the spiked fresco was getting to me, but I meant a lack of maturity.
If you're only concerned about what is underneath my clothes, you are not deserving of knowing what is in my mind. And something that I've learned to understand, guys, is for a lot of us, hookup culture makes no sense. It's not supposed to. You're going to look at all of these people being fast and going out and, like hooking up with every other person they meet at the bar, and you're going to be like, I don't fit into that. That's not what I want for my life, or like, that's not something I'm comfortable doing. That's okay. Okay? You don't have to be comfortable doing that, okay? And I hate to say in the terms of different calibers of people, guys, but I've got to be real fucking honest. Guys. I truly do feel like there is a different caliber of a person that participates in hookup culture versus not. And that's not to body shame or shame anyone for their anything, okay? I just think that is a different type of person than someone who does not, okay? And you can fight with me in the comments if you disagree, but I do feel that way. And I feel like chances are, separated those two people, your goals look slightly different. And that's fine. Everyone is not meant to walk the same life. Everyone's not meant to have the same goals, to have the same standards, to have the same boundaries, to want the same things out of life. And that's fine. And that's why this video is no disrespect to anyone who participates in hookup culture and thinks it is God's greatest gift to earth and, your body, do as you wish. That's fine. But this message is not for you. This message is for the people who look at hookup culture and feel like they don't belong, who feel like they're never going to find love because they're not willing to give up parts of themselves that everyone else is so soon. That's fine. If you're watching this, that's okay. I promise. And in the long run, you're going to thank yourself for not participating in it, because you're not going to have such a negative feeling of self-worth and self-value when those situationships don't go the way you thought, or when you meet up with that person, okay, you give them what they want and they ghost you in the morning. You're not going to carry that with you, okay? And it's just going to be something where God's timing is God's timing, and everything happens in His time. You cannot rush it, you cannot pressure it, and you cannot force it. Okay, and you don't have to fall victim to what you see is trending on social media. If dating apps aren't for you, don't go on dating apps. If hooking up is not for you, don't hook up. Don't feel pressured to conform to society, because what trending in society goes up and it goes down. What's trending will not be trending a few months from now. You know what I mean? So like, I feel like right now dating culture is shit, but eventually people are going to grow up. Eventually people are going to want spouses. And who do you think they're going to look for when they want to settle down? They're going to be looking for the opposite of what they've been doing, right? They're going to be looking for the people who weren't so easy and so fast and weren't out there doing all of those things, right? And like, that's my biggest ick with so many guys, because I hear it more often than guys than I do anyone else about the whole body count question, right? And judging women for their body counts. Meanwhile, in my personal experience, every single guy I have ever talked to had a body count of at least triple what I had. Triple, at least, at the minimum. Some people don't even know. And I'm not saying people I've been involved with, just men in my life who I have been friends with, or, you know, this, that, and the other, spoken with. And it's insane to me. And it's crazy that the audacity of so many guys to be like, her body count is this, I could never fuck with her, knowing that he has ran through about 90 times over is insane to me. Insane. They say girl math, but what the fuck is guy math? Like, I genuinely don't understand. Like, I don't understand. And it's crazy because they think that any of us low body count girls would ever want anything to do with them. You're icky. You're icky. Anyways, guys, I made this video mainly because hookup culture is not all that it seems. It's not going to be here forever. It's not going to be something that is forever our society. I think in a lot of ways our society is really fucked up right now. We are seeing things that a lot of people haven't seen, or if they have, it hasn't been in a really long time, and we've got a lot of immature ass people trying to be grown in a world that they are not prepared for. And honestly, guys, it's like the rat race, you know? Let people, in my opinion, I say let people do what they want, right? Hookup culture, let them be distracted. It's your time to focus. Focus on your career, focus on your goals, focus on the things that are going to get you to the places that you want. Let everybody else be wrapped up in dating apps and this, that, and the other, and finding the next person to fuck. Like, let that be them, okay? You stay in your lane. Focus. Because it is the rat race. And I hate to be that bitch that's like, it's the rat race. But it is, okay? And every single day, I promise you, there are people who are just falling out and dropping out and no longer aligned with their goals and their visions and the places that are going to allow them to reach success. Let them be distracted with whatever earthly, worldly things they want. You stay focused on your goals, on your faith, whatever it is you believe in. Focus on the person you want to be 5 years from now. Let everyone around you do what they do until they get bored. Stand on your boundaries. Stand your ground. Don't feel like you have to be attached to it. Be okay being alone. Feel okay being an outsider, because you will be. As soon as you don't participate in hookup culture, trust me, you will be an outsider. Okay? And it's okay. I've lost tremendous amounts of followers, literally just for not responding to a person asking for a nude, or not entertaining a conversation about sexual topics 3 days into talking. People will remove you left and right, and like, it's fine. Because I've said this before, guys, when you're stepping into your dream life, into that life that you've been praying about, into that life that you've worked so hard for, your entire existence is going to change. The people around you are going to change. Your circle is going to change. You're going to watch a lot of people that you thought were going to be in your life forever fall out. You just wait. But I love you guys. That's a topic for my next episode. I will see you guys then. I love you guys so much. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for engagement. And I'll see you in the next video.